is our home. When the storms of life drown you out, when your faith is low and you're full of doubt, see the children play, 'cause there is hope enough. When the winds of change will burn your fields and disasters stain your life won't heal, remember that there is hope enough. You look out and see every person for themselves. They say we're alone on a sick, dying hill, trashing out problems like plastic don't kill. But every living creature calls this place home. Remember that you're not alone. When the storms of life drown you out and your faith is low and you're full of doubt, see the children play, 'cause there is hope enough. When the winds of change will burn your field and disasters in your life won't heal, remember that there is hope enough. They say we're alone on a sick, dying hill, trashing out problems like plastic don't kill. But every living creature calls this place home. Remember that you're not alone. When the storms of life drown you out, when your faith is low and you're full of doubt, see the children play, 'cause there is hope enough. When the winds of change will burn your field and disasters in your life won't heal, remember that there is hope enough. When the storms of life drown you out and your faith is low and you're full of doubt, see the children play, 'cause there is hope enough. When the winds of change will burn your field and disasters in your life won't heal, remember that there is hope
Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing Enter, Rejoice, and Come In, found on page 361 of your gray hymnal and on page 65 of your Spanish hymnal. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Ven, alegrate hoy. Ven, alégrate hoy. Ven, alégrate hoy. Es hoy un día muy feliz. Ven, alégrate hoy.
Open your ears to the song.
Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Ven a escuchar la canción.
Ven a escuchar la canción. Ven a escuchar la canción. Es hoy un día muy feliz. Ven, alégrate hoy. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come
abierto el corazón.
Ven abierto el corazón, ven abierto el corazón. Es hoy un día muy feliz, ven, ven, alégrate hoy.
Don't be afraid of some change.
Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day, and to rejoice and come in.
No tengas miedo a cambiar.
No tengas miedo a cambiar. No tengas miedo a cambiar. Es hoy un día muy feliz. Ven, ven, alégrate hoy.
Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Ven, ven, alégrate hoy.
Ven, ven, alégrate hoy. Ven, ven, alégrate hoy. Es hoy un día muy feliz. Ven, ven, alégrate hoy. Es hoy un día muy feliz. Ven, ven, alégrate hoy.
Welcome to the Climate Justice Revival Worship Service. We are so glad we have entered and come into this place of rejoicing. This morning, we are doing things a little differently. We are joining congregations all over the country for a time of renewal and recommitment at the intersection of the climate crisis and the deep justice commitments of our congregations. Together, we can move past systems and cultures of extraction to usher in a new era with love and justice at the center. We protect what we love. So during this morning's worship, we will be remembering our love for earth, air, fire, and water. We will be tapping into our love for people, especially those first and foremost impacted by climate disruption. We will be celebrating all of creation and recommitting our care and protection. Let's begin with breath and air. First, I invite you to just notice your breathing, however easy or labored it might be. Give thanks for those gathered with you, and give thanks for air, always present, supporting all life.
Hello, my name is Candace Hassan. I'm a dark skinned Black woman with purple glasses and a purple shirt. Throughout religious history, revivals has marked periods of resurgence in people's commitment to their faith traditions. Classic American tent revivals took people out of their four walls of the church and into the real world. They brought the community together and served as a galvanizing force for the future, often during times of great change or anxiety. In the midst of overlapping climate crisis and mounting social injustice, we are indeed in a time of great change and profound anxiety. Taking a note from those who have gone before us, the UUA Climate Justice Revival is meant to be a time to come together and recommit. So as we come into worship, we light the chalice by the words of Reverend Megan Foley, Deputy Director for the Congregational Life at our Unitarian Universalist Association. When Unitarian Universalists light our chalice, we are doing more than moving a bit of flame from a stick to our favorite candle. When Unitarian Universalists light our chalice, we are showing what happens when you harness the power of fire. Fire is one of our world's most sacred elements, perhaps because it always causes change. Fire warms and feeds, fire destroys and eliminates. With a bit of attention and care, fire works with us to reveal, to show, to literally illuminate. Fire helps us to see and to survive. And fire is so especially sacred symbol today at our climate justice revival because we are in need of change. We are in need of warmth and of sustenance. And we are in need of a clear, a bright new path for ourselves and for the world. May this cup of captured fire be a symbol of our passion today, our care, our brilliance in the face of great need. Like fire, we are powerful. Like fire, we create change. And may it be so. Thank you.
As we continue the celebration of our revival together, I am so excited to bring you a story by one of my favorite children's authors, Kobe Yamada. The images are by May Bisum. This story is called What Do You Do with a Problem? I don't know how it happened, but one day I had a problem. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. I really didn't like having a problem, but it was here. It was here. Why is it here? What does it want? What do you do with a problem? I thought. I wanted it to go away. I shooed it, I scowled at it, I tried ignoring it, but nothing worked. I started to worry about my problem. What if it swallowed me up? What if my problem sneaks up and gets me? What if it gets me? What if it takes away all of my things? I worried a lot. I worried about what would happen. I worried about what could happen. I worried about this, and I worried about that. And the more I worried, the bigger my problem became. I wished it would just disappear. I tried everything I could to hide from it. I even found ways to disguise myself, but it still found me. And the more I avoided my problem, the more I saw it everywhere. I thought about it all the time. I didn't feel good at all. I couldn't take it anymore. This has to stop, I declared. Maybe I was making my problem bigger and scarier than it actually was. After all, my problem hadn't really swallowed me up or attacked me. I realized that I had to face it. So even though I didn't want to, I really didn't want to, even though I was really afraid, I got ready and I tackled my problem. When I got face to face with it, I discovered something. My problem wasn't what I thought it was, and I discovered that it had something beautiful inside. My problem held an opportunity. It was an opportunity for me to learn and grow, to be brave, to do something. It showed me that it was important to look closely because some opportunities only come once. So now I see problems differently. I'm not afraid of them anymore because I know their secret. Every problem has an opportunity for something good. You just have to look for it. And that, my loves, is the end of our story.
standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Climate justice isn't abstract. It starts close to home and impacts people, including all of us and our neighbors. It's not a contest between our commitments to the planet and our commitments to a more just society. In fact, those commitments are one and the same. This congregation is committed to a just world of abundance, care, and love, and that commitment includes funding. Please give generously to the life and work of this beloved Earthling community and our work for climate justice.
Down the road, when we look back and wonder
Fear stifles imagination and limits our capacity for relationships that embrace our beautiful and abundant humanity. Fear creates cynical cycles of supremacy and extractive relationships with each other and with our planet. Reimagining together is how we overcome fear. Reimagining together is how we build new relationships and a new era, putting love at the center. Today, especially, we put love at the center of our work for climate justice. Please join us in the prayers for the people and the planet. Our congregational response is, let us reimagine a new era together.
Beginning right here in our congregation, we pray for ourselves, that we open our hearts to be companions, caring for a hurting world and committing to create a world of flourishing. With reverence for the great web of life and with humility, we acknowledge our place in it. We commit to protect Earth and all beings from exploitation. So we pray for land, ecosystems, all species, the entire natural world. We pray for justice for local frontline communities who are impacted first and worst and longest by climate change and who face systemic oppression.
In our reimagining, we gain the capacity to recommit to communities of mutual support, which are the building blocks of an ecosystem of mutual survival. Let us reimagine a new era together. We look towards each other, people of faith, good conscience, and spirit, leaning on one another and trusting in the hope we can create together. Let us reimagine a new era together. We make right the wrongs of the past, not by ignoring them, but by doing the difficult work of dismantling oppressive systems and behaviors that feed our illusion of separation. May we live in a way that honors our interdependence and acts in accordance with our interconnection with all people and the planet. Let us reimagine a new era together.
As we begin in local, committed communities of support, we find the strength and courage to widen our circles of concern, resisting hierarchies of value and ideologies of scarcity. In our widening and deepening connections, we discover relations in the salt-kissed islands of Kiribati, the solid and frozen ground of Newtok, Alaska, and the life-giving valley of the Guapanal River. With humility and commitment, we acknowledge our own part in so much harm to our relations: saltwater encroachment, dying permafrost, and the poison refuse of illegal mining. May we set down fear. May our courage to face the intersecting systems of harm lead us to the strength that makes it possible for us to create intersecting practices of love and healing so that all may thrive.
Reimagining together, we build new relationships. We put love at the center of climate justice work, and we commit. Amen.
anthem is a rousing or uplifting song that is identified with a particular group or cause. For this special denomination-wide climate justice revival, the planning team commissioned an anthem to celebrate, not just today, but to carry forward in the years to come, celebrating our work for climate justice. The talented musicians Leah Morris and Adam Pod have gifted us with this song entitled Part of It. This song calls us to choose survival and to make an art of it, poetic ways of stating that we are committed to working for a flourishing world. Because our care of the planet and all its creatures is an existential task, the lyrics reflect a sense of urgency as well as passion, dedication, and joy in the work. This anthem also calls us to curiosity, humility, creativity, and grace. The work does not fall on any one person's shoulder. Contributions we as individuals make are part of the solution, but moreover, we must ground our work and our solutions in community care with love at the center. Come, let us reimagine together. Please join in singing the chorus.
There's an eternal sacred circle. We are part of it. There's an eternal sacred circle. We are part of it. We are only part of it. There's a divine and loving wisdom. We're a spark. We're a spark of it. There's a divine and loving wisdom. We're a spark of it. But we are only part of it. We are a part. We are part of it. We are a spark. We're a spark of it. We are a part. We are part of it. We are a spark. We're a spark of it. Here as one voice we choose survival, and we start to make an art of it. Now is our moment for revival. We're at the heart of it, and we are only part of it. We are only part of it. We are a part. We
I'm Rachel Mislivy, your climate justice strategist on the Side with Love team at the UUA. I use she or they pronouns, and I'm a light-skinned white person, femme presenting, with a shoulder length, kind of curly brown hair and gray glasses, and I'm wearing a sort of turquoise linen shirt and some beaded flower hoop earrings. I'm sitting in front of a Zoom background that is red and blue and has flowers all around the edges and the UU Climate Justice Revival logo up at the top. The love that lies at the center of our faith is a love that expects nothing less of us than the rebuilding of this struggling world. We hold a love greater than we know between and among us, born from all that we hold holy. It takes many of us in community to insist that a better future is possible. As the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt invites us to hold love at the center of our faith, we must equally ask, how do we center love in the climate movement? It starts when we faithfully ground our climate commitments in justice and the reality that climate change has the same roots as the extractive systems of harm and injustice that we fight so hard against, with the same roots and intersecting harms. Climate justice is racial justice, is gender justice, disability justice, mental health justice, immigration justice, LGBTQIA plus justice, earth justice, and more. When we provide safe housing for the trans teen rejected by their parents, living without shelter from climate disasters, when we offer sanctuary for our neighbors forced from their homes by climate disruption, when we open our doors as emergency shelters, when we advocate for labor protections for beloveds working in the extreme heat, when we fiercely defend our ecosystems, our water, our soils, our air, saving them not just for the privileged few, but for all of our beloved communities. When we ground our climate commitments in these challenging realities, love grounds. Love, at the center of our climate strategy, connects. When we realize that, even as the root causes are inextricably linked, so too must be our solutions. When we refuse to overlook climate injustice, when we shift from me and mine to we and ours, when we understand our interdependence, when we know in our bodies that the work is more than just technical solutions for those who can afford solar or electric cars. When we fight for clean energy, clean water, clean air as human rights, as nature rights, as earth rights, love connects. Love at the center of our climate resilience builds. When we overwhelm those challenging realities with community care. As Toni Morrison says, it's not possible to constantly hold on to the crisis. You have to have the love. You have to have the magic. That's also life. When we bring joy to our movement spaces and share snacks at our meetings as we knit socks and crack jokes, when we bounce babies on our knees as we strategize, when we laugh and play, when we draw on our faith, our inner strength, our hopes, our dreams, our creativity, our magic. When we creatively and joyfully elevate all of the many, 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 many ways that we can create new worlds together, love builds. Love at the center of our climate action transforms when we realize we need a new way. When we balance what my community needs with what brings me joy. When we experiment with new ways of being, thinking, relating, and acting together. When we admit that I alone do not have the answer. When we reject those extractive systems of harm, when we reimagine our relationships, our communities, the world we want together, love transforms. Love at the center of our climate partnerships nourishes when we overwhelm those challenging realities with collective care, when we recognize and honor the places where our deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet, when we listen, when we faithfully respond, when we embrace imperfection and offer grace, when we listen with curiosity and intention, when we communicate with humility and care, when we offer joy in the struggle, love nourishes. Love at the center of our climate movements reimagines when we dream about what could be, and when we commit to make it so, when we clasp hands and say, yes, we can do this, even when we may not yet know the way, when we guide our shared work with hope for the future and commitment to collective liberation, when we save what we love, when we joyfully, faithfully, imperfectly, and beautifully recreate our world so that all communities thrive. When love is at the center of our climate movements, love grounds, love connects, love builds, love transforms, love nourishes, love reimagines. Let's reimagine together, friends, a world where all communities thrive.
Love is at the center. Every justice necessitates climate justice, and climate justice necessitates every justice. These are new stories that we're telling. These are new stories that we're telling. We are learning to tell ourselves a new story about our wholeness. We are learning to imagine ourselves into a different relationship with the earth. We are learning to imagine ourselves into a different relationship with the earth and how we live with them. We need these stories urgently because we need a complete transformation of how we live on this planet, how we understand ourselves in relationship to our earth, and what we are called to be and to do as a result. In other words, we need to imagine our way into different stories, and then we need to live them. This is exactly the move that theologian Sally McFague makes when she argues that the earth is the body of God. McFague was writing in the 1980s. Some of us were alive then. Some of us weren't, and if you weren't alive then, I'm going to try, and probably fail, to describe just a little bit of what it was like. By the mid-'80s, Earth Day was a known quantity in much of liberal America. Tensions over the oil crisis had everyone thinking about ways to be more energy efficient and more energy independent. Environmentalists saw a glimmer of hope, and they and we also saw many gathering clouds of war and global destruction in the form of a nuclear weapons race. At 48 years old, I think I was one of the last to have regular nuclear war drills in school. And even that was elementary school. They were an artifact of the past by my middle school years. But the specter of nuclear annihilation was very real, it was very present, and the sense of living within a period of existential threat was palpable. Not to put too fine a point on it, but McFaig was riding into the teeth of apocalypse. She was doing theology on the cusp of existential annihilation. In other words, not too different from the theology that we are doing today with the presence of the earth and its suffering in our hearts and in our minds. Her method, which she called metaphorical theology, asked us to move into a place of imagination with her question, how would we think or act differently if this were true? She knew that she was working against entrenched notions of God just as we are today. And instead of arguing and trying to knock an idol off its base, she said, keep your idol, keep those ideas. Just ask this question with me. How would you think or act differently if this were true? And then she said, what if the earth was the body of God? I get shivers when I ask that question. And if you're struggling with this, let me remind you of two things. First, that some theologians have defined God as that which is greater than us, that which we are wholly reliant upon, and that which we cannot live without. Which is to say that nature, which is to say that our earth does a very good job of fitting that definition and criteria. Second, many have said that if I look at my checkbook, I will know what I believe in. If I look at my credit card statement, it will tell me what I believe in. If we were to look at our checkbooks, if we were to look at our credit card statements, what would they say we believe in? If we are going to have a God today, if we are going to put any logic up above us and follow its call, if we are going to open our hearts and surrender to anything, and particularly knowing that what we believe shapes what we act and how we act shapes what we believe, thinking and acting as if the earth was the body of God would be an awfully good model to live within and to live with. Hang out in that space of imagination with me for a few moments, will you? Can we imagine how different things would be if we behaved and acted as if we believed that the earth that we walk on, the earth that provides everything that we have, is the body of our Creator? The funny thing, of course, is that we need not imagine at all. It is literally true that we are wholly reliant upon the earth, that the forces of nature are far greater than we can ever be and beyond our understanding and imagination, and that we literally cannot live without it. Western intellect has made the fundamental category error of believing that we are separate from that which we are inseparably apart. The earth is God, and we are intimately part of God's body. What would we do? What would we not do? How would we move through a world where everything is holy, where everything is sacred, where everything is a story of gratitude and interdependence? How would we live if we understood that we come here not to make this the site of our efforts, but rather a place to fill our spirits, a place for collective care, a place for healing, one that kindles and replenishes our imagination, one that helps us to recenter in an imagination of what we could be so that we can go out and live it, and in the process of living it, make the world as it could be.
How do we embrace joy? How do we rekindle excitement and reimagine new ways of working together towards intersectional climate justice? Maybe one of the answers comes from outside our human shared experience. Maybe we take a cue from a nature-loving robot built in the wilds named Mosscap. The solar punk novella, Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers, is a love letter to mutual support, just and harmonious relationship building, and natural systems of which humans are only a small part. Sibling Dex, one of the protagonists, is a monk whose vocation calls them to travel between villages, serving tea and offering a space of accompaniment for the weary and the grief-worn. On their travels, Sibling Dex meets an unlikely companion, a wild-built sentient robot named Splendid Speckled Mosscap. As their friendship unfolds, Mosscap and Dex discover they hold a similar guiding question on their individual but overlapping journeys. What do humans need? As the unlikely duo adventures through the wilderness, Mosscap and Dex, the robot born of the forest who longs for learning about humans, and the urban monk who revels in the solitary life of travel between villages. They find companionship as they learn about themselves and the world. The unfolding friendship between Mosscap and Dex teaches us how mutual support not only ensures each other's survival, but that there is joy in supporting each other's thriving. For this duo, living in a world where climate justice is normal means centering relationships over capitalism, natural systems for their inherent worth, and interspecies love and respect over extractive practices. It centers beauty, imagination, joy, dancing, play, and sharing good food with companions. These lessons from a fictional world suggest to us that the answer to the question of what do humans need is mutual support. Humans supporting humans in finding joy in healing our world. What humans also need is to honor other natural systems and support their flourishing because of their inherent worth, not just for what humans can extract from them. What humans need are thriving ecosystems, clean waterways for us and the flora and fauna who depend on them, and renewable sources of energy that work in harmony with nature, not at the cost of its depletion. There are many truths that we humans have uncovered as we work towards intersectional climate justice. Many of us have been engaged for years in this work, and we have grown weary, we have grown frustrated. We also understand how climate injustice affects the most vulnerable. Its unequal distribution of damage is experienced by those who historically have the least power to change it. And there is another truth emerging. We have who and what we need for reimagining climate justice centered in love. We have what we need when we honor that at our core as humans, we want to live fulfilling and fulfilled lives, and we want other beings to live fulfilled and healthy lives as well. We have what we need when we remember that we are part of nature and natural systems, not outside of them. We have what we need when we affirm, as the narrator of Wild Built reminds us, that human-made constructs prioritize the healing of the not humanly constructed. We have what we need when we honor the weariness of an uncertain world, yes, but also when we remember that a dystopian future is not foretold. We have what we need when we work towards brightness, towards joy, towards a world of justice, driven a thriving where a healthy climate and natural systems are reflective of, they're sustained by and celebrated by healthy humans, and we are in turn sustained by them. To be excited about this, we're doing this all over the world, and that there is power in that fellowship and connection. This is also a truth and a need. Whether the work of intersectional climate justice focuses on indigenous plants and shade justice in Los Angeles, or the work of the elimination of agricultural practices brought by colonization in the Midwest, or the work is creating training programs for members of the global majority to enter environmental justice careers on the Eastern Seaboard. You, the spirit-filled climate justice workers, you are affirmed. Your work is important. Your work is the spiritual work of reimagining and renewing our promises to ourselves, to one another, and the planet. Your climate work is already putting love at the center. You are what people need. You are what people need to heal this world. I need you. We need each other. And the good news is we already have what we need. So let's celebrate it. Let's get excited about it. Let us be transformed by our unlikely and globe-spanning companionships. Our companionships built on faith, generosity, interconnectedness. May we revel in those unlikely companionships, like the tea chaplain sibling Dex and the wild-built robot, splendid speckled moss cap. May we thrive in this world like they do, in a novella that imagines a flourishing world built through strengthened relationship. May our faith be reinvigorated by knowing that there is good work and joyful work and successful work already being done. May we offer respite, sometimes in the form of a cup of tea to the weary, yes, but may we also make celebratory space for the reimagining of our intersectional, our unstoppable, and our unfathomable strength to make good change in this world. May it be so.
Rituals facilitate connection and a sense of community, and they help us promote the values we share. This ritual for action is intended to help us embody what we've been talking, thinking, and singing about. With water as a symbol of renewal, your hands will be blessed for the work of climate justice. If you are ready to take action, please come forward for a blessing with these words. Friend, you are commissioned to act for climate justice. I bless your hands with water. May they do the work that must be done. Care for those who need the touch of kindness and co-create flourishing everywhere.
We will rise together, you and I, rise together hand in hand. Come on, we will rise together, heads held high. We will reach the promised land. Come, my friend, I see a brighter day, where freedom rings for everyone. Come along and we will find a way to justice rising like the sun. We will sing together, you and I, sing together hand in hand. Come on, we will sing together, heads held high. We will reach the promised land. Come, my friend, I see a brighter day, where freedom rings for everyone. Come along and we will find a way to justice rising like the sun. We will dance together, you and I, dance together hand in hand. Come on, we will dance together, heads held high. We will reach the promised land. Come, my friend, I see a brighter day, where freedom rings for everyone. Come along and we will find a way to justice rising like the sun. We will shout together, you and I, shout together hand in hand. Come on, we will shout together, heads held high. We will reach the promised land. Come, my friend, I see a brighter day, where freedom rings for everyone. Come along and we will find a way to justice rising like the sun. To justice rising like the sun.
Knowing how quickly the flame of truth may be extinguished, how easily the chalice of fellowship broken, let us be vigilant in faith, keep peace in our hearts, and make care for one another the watchword of our lives together, so our light goes out everywhere into the world. Our light goes out everywhere into the world where healing and hope are needed. Let us go in peace to love and serve this world and one another. It's good to be with you.